Hi everyone, welcome to What's Here in Japan. This is Morita. I'm from Japan. I've been in Japan for many years. I'm 100% of Japanese. In this channel, I will introduce various kinds of Japanese culture. I'm a guide. I will lead you to a better understanding of Japan. Okay, let's get started. Today's topic is the Tale of Genji. The Tale of Genji is a classic work of Japanese literature written in the early 11th century by Murasaki Shikibu. She was a great writer and storyteller. The Tale of Genji is a masterpiece of Japanese literature. But what kind of story is the Tale of Genji in the first place? Why so important in Japanese history? How did it influence Japanese society? Today, I'm gonna answer these questions. The Tale of Genji, written by Murasaki Shikibu in the Heian period, has been called the greatest work of literature in Japanese history. The story is filled with the aesthetic sense of the Japanese people. It was established in the 11th century during the Heian period. The location was Kyoto, where the center of Japanese politics and culture. At that time, the emperor was the central figure in the management of the nation, and those who assisted the emperor were that powerful. The Tale of Genji also depicts the human condition in the aristocratic society of the Heian period. The main character is Hikaru Genji, the second priest, and the story is about a man blessed with good looks and talent who falls in love with many women, climbing up the ladder and falls from grace, and ending his life. Anyway, many women appear and he falls in love with them. It is the Japanese version of Don Juan. From a modern perspective, this literary work has three unique characteristics. First, there is a marriage form called tsumadoikon. This is a form of marriage in which a man visits a woman's room and spends the night. Moreover, the couple did not always spend time together, as is the case today. Therefore, for people in the Heian period, partying in the morning was a very lonely experience. The woman would wait for the man to come through, spend the night together, and when morning came, the man and the woman would part. And so men sometimes go to other women. This is why there are many poems about the morning of separation in Japanese waka poetry. In contemporary Japanese music too, there are many songs about the desire to meet. So this is also a tradition of waka poetry since the Heian period. The second characteristic is a uniquely Japanese aesthetic sense of mononaware. Mononaware, simply put, refers to the emotional response of being moved by something. Both men and women have the sense that becoming well-versed in the various movements of the human feeling through many love affairs is a way of becoming more sophisticated as a person. This way of thinking has created a uniquely Japanese aesthetic sense. The third characteristic is the value of cause and effect. Cause and effect is a Buddhist value that states that there is a present reward of happiness or unhappiness according to one's past or previous lives, and that there is a future reward according to one's present actions. In the Tale of Genji, the hero, Hikaru Genji, has relationships with many women, and this leads to problems and misfortunes for his children, the women, and himself. He had relations with his father's wife that it would be unthinkable today, and this caused Hikaru Genji to suffer greatly. This depicts the anguish caused by love and family relationships. The Tale of Genji was born at a time when Japan was in the process of developing its own culture after the abolition of the Japanese envoys to the Tang Dynasty in 894. What developed at that time was a uniquely Japanese script called the Kana script, known as hiragana and katakana. At the time, kanji was used for official documents, but hiragana and katakana were used for private occasions and by women. The Tale of Genji was written in these kana characters. Thus, it was during the Heian period that Japan developed a culture based on its own unique script. Speaking of samurai, they think more concretely and economically, materialistically, because they focus on land and battles, while aristocrats' lives are centered on class, study, and ceremony. As a result, they tend to be more religious, cultural, and idealistic. In other words, the Heian period is a period filled with a cultural atmosphere. We can clearly see that the imperial court was the center of cultural development through writing, costumes, waka poetry, and love. At the time, there were no telephones or iPhones, so correspondence was the main form of communication. Therefore, men and women fell in love by communicating through the composition of waka poems. Now and in the past, love is one of the things that people are most interested in. At that time, there was another famous female writer, who is called Seishonagon. Both were court ladies and were rivals to each other. Murasaki Shikibu depicted love and human karma in the Tale of Genji, while Seishonagon left excellent essays about what comfort, beauty, and elegance are. Both were women writers, and both were at the height of their popularity at the time because of their extremely good and beautiful writing. You might say that they were artist rivals like Mozart and Salieri. This period was also a time when such women's sensibilities were in full display. The culture of the Heian period, which gave birth to such values as the formality of marriage, the beauty of things, and the rewards of cause and effect, gradually influenced the aesthetic sense of Japanese people. The Tale of Genji was set in the Kyoto Imperial Palace. The Kyoto Imperial Palace was the residence of the emperor at the time, and is located in Kyoto City, Kyoto Prefecture. Whenever an emperor acceded to the throne, this was a place where the ceremony was held. Until the Meiji era, the emperor lived here in Kyoto, and the Kyoto Imperial Palace was also the residence of the emperor for about 500 years, from 1331 to 1896. So, it was a place where the emperor's residence, political and educational institutions of the time gathered. This is where the Tale of Genji was born. I recommend visiting the Kyoto Imperial Palace when you come to Japan. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much for listening. My only hope for you is that this video helps you understand Japan well. I'll be back soon, don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.